What's up, everybody? Apologize for being. Uh, Let me rephrase that. I think we had an incident that took place here. Welcome to Random Wrestling Talk, episode number 26. I appreciate the like there. I just came across. You know what time it is. It's time to talk about some professional wrestling news, rumors. Matt 87 Eagle says hello. I say hello right back to you, homie. Uh, as you guys may notice, I'm not wearing my headphones as usual. I actually um had an issue with my headphones. My headphones actually broke. The bear sent me a message saying, "Hey, are you a European colonizer?" No. I have no idea why the fuck you're even asking a question like that. This is about professional wrestling, not about politics. Thank you very much. Anyway, folks, we got quite a bit of news. I've been on a 1 week hiatus with Random Wrestling Talk, our weekly news and rumors playlist series that you could say it is. But yeah. Anyway, there has been quite a few things that came up with me. I've been looking over some of the news that's been going on. So we got quite a few articles that are taking place. So kick back, relax, leave some comments in the chat. I'll be more than happy to read them. The bear is starting to creep me the fuck out. He's saying, should it be illegal for women to fart? I think you're a schmuck. Can you stop talking to me in the chat? Get the fuck out of here. This is about wrestling. This isn't about bullshit. And I really would appreciate people going ahead and stating things that's about wrestling. If you're not here to talk about wrestling, I don't give a fuck what you got to say, and I'm going to start to ignore you. Anyway, if it ain't about wrestling, I'm not reading your chat no more. This is ridiculous. This is unprofessional. Something WWE has no idea what to be like. They don't know how to be professional at all. They want to talk about Sasha Banks being unprofessional, since I'm on the topic of WWE and how they decided to say that Sasha Banks was unprofessional, as well as Naomi. The women's division is pissed off, and they're very unhappy with what's going on within WWE. So let me pull that article up right now on my cell phone here so I can read you exactly what is going on here. With WWE in the women's division, they're very upset. So let me go ahead and read that off to you. Give me 1 second. All right. Some WWE superstars reportedly frustrated with Vince McMahon over women's division. According to a recent report, several WWE superstars have grown frustrated with how the company's female talents are being booked by Vince McMahon. What else is new? The whole entire roster should be frustrated how Vince McMahon's booking this fucking show. This is ridiculous. There's no effort being put into it. Tensions are reportedly brewing in the WWE locker room in the aftermath of the Wall Street Journal's most recent Vince McMahon expose. According to recent Fightful Select report, several members of the SmackDown female roster have grown frustrated with the way their division has been booked in recent months. Per Fightful, disillusionment among talent from both ends of the card have begun earlier this year, and multiple female superstars were waiting to see where the chips would fall before venting their frustrations with the WWE higher ups. Sweethearts, you should have been busting their balls from the beginning of time. They've been booking this women's division since wrong since the pandemic. That's the truth of the matter. This is an absolute and utter joke. The chips in question were Lacey Evans and Asuka, who both recently returned from hiatus. Another chip was Charlotte Flair, who is currently still on hiatus and will probably return soon to take over SmackDown and relieve Liv Morgan of her duties as the SmackDown Women's Champion. Anyway, with those three women out of the picture for a while, WWE's creative department was able to include other female talents in storylines beginning in the May 13th edition of SmackDown on Fox. The Fightful Report also notes that Ronda Rousey is willing to work with a variety of SmackDown talent. Hey, what do you know? Somebody who's in the higher ups of their roster actually cares about this division. Way to go, Ronda. You're in my positive book. One of Fightful's sources said they believe that Vince McMahon is more concerned with rehabilitating his image in the wake of WSJ, which is the Wall Street Journal story, than he is with booking the WWE's women division properly. Yes, I can actually confirm that if you watched last night's Monday Night Raw or you happen to hear the reviews about this. Good old Titus came out of Titus Catering and decided to take a slight vacation away from the kitchen and wanted to go ahead and give out to the Tampa Bay residents and fans of the WWE that they're a fucking puppet for Vince McMahon. So now he's using pawns in his game of clearing his own name so that he can go ahead and be able to say he's a good guy, and he never really did any of this shit at all by going ahead and paying hush money to women who he fought. But hey, that's just me. Though they're sitting at home doing absolutely nothing. Granted, they are given an actual contract that pays them a salary for working for his fucking shitbag company. Anyway, image than worrying about making his product better. Gee, Vince, maybe you should have been a little concerned about that for the last 19 years, screwing women and paying them off to go ahead and now worry about your image. Gee, you should have been worrying about that 19 fucking years ago. But now it's okay. The company's in shambles and nobody gives a shit about professional wrestling anymore. So who gives a fuck about the women's division, right? Sure, why not? Oh, God almighty. Help us all. So on Friday, July 18th, the Wall Street Journal published a report which claimed McMahon paid off as many as 4 women going back as far as 16 years. 16, not 19. Those payments apparently total $12 million, with one of the 4 unnamed women included in the report being paid $7.5 million. Oh my. Anyway, $7.5 million by McMahon. Last month, reports surfaced that McMahon paid a former WWE paralegal $3 million in hush money after the two had an affair. Way to go, Vince. You're a class A son of a bitch. What a fucking retard. Anyway, hours after McMahon stepped down as CEO, which is not entirely true. He didn't step down. He stepped away for a temporary period of time. Pending the results of the WWE board's investigation, he made the bizarre decision to open SmackDown. Yeah. Well, let me tell you, folks. WWE's shit. The women's division knows it's shit. The whole roster knows it's shit, as you can tell when they come out in the audience or on camera. They are definitely not trying their best. They're not trying to entertain. They're not really trying anything. They're just going through the motions and getting through this horrible fucking script writing that good old Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard put together and say, yeah, that's a good way to produce the fucking show. Not to mention all the other script writers are along underneath Bruce Pritchard are sucking at the teat of Vince McMahon's dick. Oh my goodness gracious. This company is so fucking retarded, I think I'm going to lose a freaking brain cell from just talking about it. But then again, I think I lose a brain cell as well as everyone else lose a brain cell of fucking going ahead and watching or talking about this shitbag's show. So, there you go. Anyway, Matt87 Eagle says, that's genius. move, Vince. Oh, what? I mean, idiotic. Good move. Good comment there, Matt. Good comment. Folks, man, this guy cares nothing about wrestling, cares nothing about the product. He doesn't care about entertaining his audience. He don't give a fuck about anything. The only thing he cares about is him. It's always been about him. That's all he gives a shit about. He doesn't care about the fans. He doesn't care about the product. He don't care about nothing. I'm sorry. I thought I saw something flying around. Anyway, he does not care about nothing that this company can offer to somebody. And that's pretty fucking sad in its own right. I think this is tragic. I think this is terrible. And I do not understand how Vince McMahon could not care about this product. But then again, for the last 16 years, the guy's fucking around with other women and going ahead and paying them hush money to keep them quiet. Fortunately, that's come back to bite him in the ass. Don't believe me? Go ask Deshaun Watson. He's dealing with 24 different fucking women who are accusing him of rape. 20 of them have been cleared, but 4 of them are still on the hunt to get his ass and get his money. So, there you go. I think, honestly, that this company will no longer have Vince McMahon in control. That's my hope. If it doesn't, folks, I'm dead serious. I will not be covering anything, news, rumors, pay-per-views, nothing. This guy's got to go. Unless they have absolute proven evidence he has done nothing wrong. These are all lies and accusations made by these women, which I highly doubt they are, because I think this guy's a worthless piece of shit. Anyway, why I'm not watching this fucking product ever again. I may not even have a subscription to Peacock anymore. Honestly, I think that WWE is a terrible, terrible company that does not know how to be professional, nor does it care about its performers. That's all I have to say about that. Hell, fuck the performers. They don't even care about their employees overall. Adam3817 says, yo, my dude. Hey, man, what's up? What are you, Shaq Gaspar and OG? Crime time. Oh, man. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny to bring up and be the first story to talk about since I was bringing up about Vince McMahon and the company itself and all that. On to something else. We got some really tragic news going on in WWE, but what else is new? They seem to always come up with new ways to disappoint us. Especially with this report that I just came across earlier today on NoDQ.com about Bill Goldberg. Oh, fuck me. Bill Goldberg. Mr. Wings 0226 says hello. Hello, sir. Thank you for joining the channel. I don't know if you are subscribed. If you are not, hit that subscribe button. Hey, folks, you coming on in, hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. I greatly appreciate it. Adam3817 says, haha, what? Crime time. Yeah, crime time. But yeah, if we couldn't get any more disappointed with this company, we hear news about Goldberg. Yes, folks, Goldberg is in the news. And no, he's not done with WWE at all. We have more matches to come with good old Bill Goldberg, Mr. And twitching his neck like he's got he's having Tourette's or some shit. I don't know what this guy's or having a seizure, some kind of fucking crap. What the hell is this shit? Bill Goldberg's ready to work for Vince whenever they make the call. Are you fucking kidding me? Let me read this pathetic fucking interview because I didn't actually read it. I just came across the article. I saved it on my phone, and I'm going to read it with you guys right now. So, in an interview with Joseph Stawatsky of the NYPost.com, Bill Goldberg commented on his status with WWE. I'm still waiting for that one call to happen one of these days, but I suppose you never retire in the wrestling world until you're dead. So who knows? Actually, that's totally incorrect. The only reason why the why you never really retired when you're working specifically for WWE is because they love to live in the past and never look towards the future. There's the fucking problem right there. Holy shit. But hey, I may never get the call. You never know. But bet your ass I'll be ready. Oh yeah, they'll give you the call. I guarantee you. When that fucking Arabic money starts flowing into good old Vincey McMahon, he's gonna go, "Hey, Bill, are you ready? Can you go ahead and just give me like a 2-minute match? You know, one of those spears, a jackhammer that takes a fucking month to get through. You know." God almighty. This guy, Bill Goldberg, is like a fucking joke. Adam 3817 says Vince is half Arab. He's half Arab. I love it. That's a great comment right there, Adam. Love it. I wouldn't be surprised he's a fucking Arabic son of a bitch. What a fucking douchebag. So it continues on. It says, it was also revealed in the article that Goldberg doesn't believe he will need reattachment surgery for his shoulder. So of course, good old Vince McMahon might as well just call him in at the event at the Clash of the Castle. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him there. Don't be surprised, folks. Don't be fucking surprised. I swear to God, you will not be surprised. I wouldn't. The September 23rd episode of WWE SmackDown is scheduled to take place close to the 25th anniversary of Goldberg's first WCW Nitro match. And it will also take place in the same city, Salt Lake City, where Goldberg debuted. Oh my God. We're going to have to actually see this sorry son of a bitch show up on SmackDown September 23rd. So he's not going to be at the Clash of the Castle. They're going to have a fucking tribute towards Bill Goldberg this entire SmackDown episode. Or at least go ahead and have him do a similar thing like they did with John Cena and make a surprise appearance to talk on the microphone to say, "Who's next?" Yeah, right. Who's next? My balls. What the fuck? Adam 3817 says, "Hey, are you sick of Goldberg?" Am I sick of him? I used to be a diehard Goldberg fan besides Stone Cold Steve Austin. And since his return back to WWE since 2016, I've absolutely hated this guy. He had his very first match back. He wrestles Brock Lesnar in Survivor Series, and the match ends in a minute and 20 seconds. Brock Lesnar was having matches that went 15 minutes plus before this match, and then he loses in a minute and 20 seconds. Are you fucking kidding me? And then after that, Brock Lesnar continues to have matches as short short matches where you have nothing but German suplexes and F5s. And once in a blue moon, a Kimura lock thrown in the mix. Other than that, that's all we see from Brock Lesnar now that he's now had the lethal dose of poison by Bill Goldberg's wrestling style implanted into him. I really, really do not understand this fucking company. No, yeah, I got some positive news. I will be talking about that. That will be the last story I talk about here. For you guys here on the channel. This is AEW news. Of course, AEW is going to deliver something positive. I mean, they are hardly ever negative. But yeah, there is some positive news coming out of the news and rumor mill for AEW. Adam 3817 states that is Cena fighting at SummerSlam. No, he is not. Thank goodness for him. He doesn't need this shitty fucking company. He is way above this. If you don't believe me, Go watch that TV show on HBO Max for only $9.99. If you prefer doing it without the advertisements, do $14.99. And yeah, you will catch him in the Peacemaker for that first season and understand why he is so far above this fucking company with that character. Because he is downright freaking hilarious throughout that entire show. And it's downright fucking sick. But yeah. Yeah, so Bill Goldberg more than likely will be appearing on the September 23rd episode of SmackDown. So keep your eyes out for that. That should be exciting. I'm sure JD from New York's going to get excited from that. He'll probably say, "Can I change the channel, please? Thank you." All right, let's go into Liv Morgan. This is I feel bad for Liv Morgan. She's actually one of the better things in WWE right now that I actually enjoyed to see win the SmackDown Women's Championship at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I was very surprised by this. I thought this would never happen. But lo and behold, WWE happened to shock us. But again, let's not be shocked by the fact that they may just strip her of the championship before Clash of the Castle or after Clash of the Castle. Because this woman ain't going past the Clash of the Castle. I'll tell you that much. If she goes past Clash of the Castle, I will be shocked on that. On top of everything else we witnessed so far here with Liv Morgan's run as SmackDown Women's Champion. Well, let's get into this report. It's actually Liv Morgan addressing her critics an upcoming match against Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam. Oh yes, another rematch. Another fucking rematch. Good old WWE knows how to really produce good television and give us something to look forward to when it comes to a SummerSlam card. Have you ever heard of so many rematches? I'll go into the SummerSlam card in just a moment, which will blow your fucking minds of how many rematches are taking place at this shitty fucking pay-per-view. And it's taking place inside a Nissan Stadium. And I don't understand how the fuck anyone is actually interested in actually coming to this shit show. I'd rather go see Grand Slam in New York City if I had the money to travel over there and actually go see the event on top of it. But unfortunately, I don't. I'm in the midst of trying to buy a house and get out of the apartment living lifestyle. But if that's not feasible for me, then I'm going to be moving into a new apartment and get out of the shitty one that I've been living in for the last 2 to 3 years. Anyway, let's get into what she had to say. She was actually on the podcast with Corey Graves after the bell. Oh boy, a WWE mark that works within the company. Of course, we're going to get real legitimate feeling from all this bullshit, right? Sure. All right, here we go. Her critics. You could have the most perfect painting, the most perfect drawing, the most perfect human in the world, and someone is not going to like it. I enjoy the good just as much as I enjoy the bad. It's just something that luckily has never bothered me. I don't know. Everyone has their opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. It's kind of like what you think about me as none of my business. If you love me, if you hate me, I can only do what I feel is right. And that's something I've kind of done my whole career and stay true and is as true to me as I possibly could. So I have to agree with those comments. I think that your critics are your critics. They're going to give you their opinions whether they're fact or fiction and they're just biased opinions. That is totally, you know, based on research and looking over things. Honestly, Liv Morgan does not deserve any kind of bad criticism. She has improved her wrestling over the years. She's been impressive. And she has done some things that normally a lot of women in her position don't do. She's evolved, she's gotten better, she's got limitations, yes, but She manages to make herself look good even though she has some setbacks. And I appreciate that about anybody. I have setbacks. I have a learning disability. You guys may notice sometimes when I talk really fast and then I'll slow down. Sometimes I'll fuck up with what I'm trying to say, things like that. That's because I have a learning disability. Sometimes I mispronounce words. Sometimes I can't pronounce names properly, and that's because of my disability. Pronouncing, fancy names and shit like Strawatsky and all that shit. I have very hard. I have a very hard time trying to pronounce those kinds of words. So if you kind of hear me having those issues, that's kind of why. I've been on the channel for 5 years, never mentioned that to anybody until just now. So if you guys happen to catch this video after the live stream, and then, you understand why I sound the way I do sometimes. Sometimes I sound great. Sometimes I flow very well. And sometimes I sound like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about or lost track of what I wanted to say. So, excuse me if that stuff does happen here on the channel. And if you don't like that, well, here's to you. Anyway, uh, starting to sound like Stone Cold Steve Austin over here. Kind of like it. Anyway. She goes into about Ronda Rousey and the match she's going to have with her at SummerSlam. It's actually insane because I was serving wings at Ronda Rousey was what? What the fuck did she just it's actually insane because I was serving wings as Ronda Rousey was winning her championships, talking about UFC, I think. I watched her from my job as she absolutely dominated women in the UFC. They fucked up with the tense of what they were supposed to say. This person wrote dominating. They should have been writing dominated women in the UFC. I think Ronda remembers how it felt for her to win her first championship, for her to feel vindicated, that moment of I'm going to protect this with my whole entire life. I know she's stronger than me. I get it and understand. She might be more technically skilled for fighting, at fighting. Um, she's 100% is more technically skilled at fighting. But I didn't grow up with goals to be a UFC champion or Olympic athlete. I grew up wanting to be a WWE superstar and a WWE champion. It's what I spent my whole entire life working for. I'm not discrediting that she has all these other accolades, but she didn't work her whole life for this. I did. I worked my whole entire life for this, and I know it's not going to be easy, and it's going to be the fight of my life. But there's no way in my mind that I'm leaving SummerSlam without this championship. She's going to have to break my arm. Oh, wow. That's a real smart move. Yeah. Say that. She's going to have to break my arm. Maybe she will. Maybe they'll play a storyline into that. Oh, folks, man. I am really petrified to see this fucking this match between these two women. I really am, because after hearing that, for all we know, maybe WWE goes about having Liv Morgan pretend that her arm gets snapped in two, and we have Ronda Rousey win the SmackDown Women's Championship back, and then have a rematch again with Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. Oh, God help us. Boy, oh boy, am I feeding them a lot of negative booking ideas, ain't I? Somebody ought to shoot me at this point. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't want to die. I like living, especially when I can go ahead and shit all over WWE because they're absolute fucking crap. But a good old Vince McMahon, if he don't get out of office soon, I think I have to give up on this company completely, because I think the whole world has went upside fucking down and lost its freaking mind. Kind of like what I'm doing right now. Anyway, the bottom line is real simple. Liv Morgan against Ronda Rousey is not a good idea, personally. It's got to happen anyway. I mean, come on. The way she won the damn title was clearly cheap as shit. That's why I think that the rules on the briefcase need to change ASAP. It's getting old watching fucking performers win the Money in the Bank, and after a world championship match, they can go ahead and cash in after they had a grueling match with their opponent, and then at that point can get cashed in on and lose the fucking championship in such a bullshit way. Bottom line, I don't know, man. I feel sorry for Liv Morgan. She's in a very tough situation. She's got to have a match where she's got to make herself come across believable with a more talented fighting technician artist like Ronda Rousey. Bottom line, this is a bad situation for her. That's all there is to it. There ain't much more for me to say. I don't know how they're going to get this to work out. But it is what it is. Matt87 Eagle says it worked for Edge, though. What worked for Edge? Please elaborate a little bit for me, Matt. Adam3817 says, yeah, the Money in the Bank cash-in rules should change. Maybe a cash-in at the next pay-per-view rather than same night they win the contract. No. You don't understand, Adam. What I'm saying is they need to have the match scheduled. They pick the pay-per-view that they want to go ahead and challenge the champion, and it's scheduled. Not this, I cash in after the match is over, like Austin Theory is thinking he's going to do at SummerSlam against Brock or Roman Reigns, which I doubt is going to happen. I think Austin Theory will cash in and he will lose and not win the undisputed Universal Championship. And another idea that came up from JD from New York 206, and honestly, I think I really should stop bringing up all the big names that are on YouTube because I'm kind of belittling myself. Well, not belittling myself, but kind of making myself look like a fucking fanboy over here. But I am a fan of JD from New York 206, so I'm not going to lie about that. But he stated something that was really fucking off the walls, and I hope does not come true. He thinks that WWE may have Roman Reigns face Drew McIntyre for the Undisputed Universal Championship at Clash at the Castle. And then after Drew McIntyre wins that championship, they will have they will have Austin Theory cash in on Drew McIntyre, costing him a run as the new undisputed champion. God help me if that happens. If that happens, folks, you will never see me cover another WWE pay-per-view show on this channel ever again. Ever! I cannot stand the mentality, the thoughts that come through people's heads. Austin Theory ain't winning shit. I told you guys. I straight up told you guys. Whoever wins the briefcase ain't winning shit. They ain't winning nothing. That's the truth. That's the bottom line. That is the end-all, be-all story of this situation. They ain't winning nothing. They are losing that fucking opportunity to become champion because there's no one that's deserving to win that championship outside of Cody Rhodes. That's all there is to it. Austin Theory is going to try to cash in on Roman Reigns at the SummerSlam pay-per-view. He will lose to Roman Reigns. Austin Theory will go into obscurity. Austin Theory is not Vince McMahon's protege. I do not believe Vince McMahon could be that fucking stupid, take his number one guy and turn him into an absolute fucking joke. Not to mention have him lose to Drew McIntyre at Clash of the Castle? Fuck no. What are you, fucking crazy? You got to be out of your damn fucking mind. No, that ain't happening either. That's not happening either. Drew McIntyre is not beating Roman Reigns. Nobody's beating Roman Reigns. Nobody. There ain't a fucking person on this roster right now that is deserving to beat Roman Reigns except for Cody Rhodes. You want to know why? because he's came across the most genuine. He's came across the AEW way, the way WWE should be producing their stars. I mean, if Austin Theory came across like the Austin Theory I knew from Evolve Wrestling, why, I'd actually enjoy seeing him become the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. But unfortunately, we got this different version of Austin Theory, which we've seen different versions of him since he came to WWE, where he is an absolute moron sitting there oiled up trying to do a pose down with fucking Bobby Lashley. Are you out of your fucking mind? Bobby Lashley could outpose anybody on that fucking roster at this point. He's got the biggest fucking physique in the company. Why this man is not challenging for the Undisputed Universal Championship at this point is beyond me. But hey, I digress. What am I going to do? I can't do nothing about it. I can talk about it, but what the fuck's that going to do? Nothing. So who fucking cares? Bottom line is, a guy like Bobby Lashley shouldn't be losing to Austin Theory. That's number one. Number two, Austin Theory's been on losing streak nonstop since he won the fucking Money in the Bank briefcase. So, big whoop-de-fucky-doo to good old Austin Theory and his idea of becoming WWE Undisputed Champion, which, God help me if that happens. I swear I think I'm going to have an aneurysm or a fucking busted blood vessel in my head. I swear to God. I think this is absolutely fucking insane. Adam3817 says Lashley is a good choice to dethrone Roman Reigns. No, he's not. I would say he's a good opponent for him to face Roman Reigns, but Lashley to win? No. No. I do not think that would be a good idea. Him challenging for a championship opportunity, that's one thing, but him actually winning? No. I don't think that would be a good idea at all. Adam3817 also says, if Theory wins the championship, I will go and personally kidnap Vince. Oh, please do. What are you going to do? Hold him for ransom? Oh, wait, he'll give you that hush money. Let me tell you. He'll give you that fucking money in a heartbeat, man. He gives it to women to fuck him. He'd probably give you the money to let him go. Who the hell knows? Holy shit, man. I mean, and Adam3817 says, I'll turn Vince into a cheeseburger. Who the fuck would want to eat Vince McMahon as a cheeseburger? I know I sure as hell wouldn't. He probably would oil himself up before you cut him up into little bits and turn him into a cheeseburger. Who the fuck knows, man? He loves those pose downs, man. He loves those pose downs. I probably even Gorilla, he was jerking off when Lashley and Austin Theory was getting it on in the middle of the ring with that fucking pose down bullshit. All right. Anyway. Adam3817 says the McMahon sandwich. And then he has a sandwich emoji. All right. Well, I'm glad you're into cannibalism, Adam3817. Wow. All right. Let's move on here. Let's see what other stories we got before we get into good old news about AEW and what they have in store for us in the next couple of months. All right. Let's see here. Here we go. Some other news about AEW under the Ring of Honor banner about the Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view. So here's the card pretty much. It's all championship matches. No actual legit rivalry matches. The Ring of Honor World Championship will be Jonathan Gresham versus Claudio Castagnoli. And then we have the television championship with Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal. That's actually been the first match that was announced when the idea of this pay-per-view taking place. We have the Pure Championship match between Wheeler Yuta, the champion, defending against Daniel Garcia. That should be a fucking good matchup. We have the tag team titles on the line with FTR defending them against the Briscoes in a 2 out of 3 falls match. That should be a fucking killer of a match. I don't even know if I mean, I would possibly, maybe make that the main event, but I don't think they will. And then the women's championship will be Mercedes Martinez versus Serena Deeb. That should be a fucking good matchup as well. I will be live, by the way, on July 23rd for that event. I will be here right in front of you guys. So I will be going over that entire show, giving you guys my full-on review. It probably won't be a full-on hour unless we get a lot of people in here talking to me about it and whatnot, and I go over the comments and everything. So if that's the case, then yeah, we'll go over an hour. Today's been kind of slow, very low amount of viewership on this episode. Guess because I took a hiatus for 1 week. I'll try not to never do that again, but with my work schedule and everything, and also in the midst of getting ready to move in the next couple of months, I'm trying to plan ahead for that. So I've been kind of busy, and I've also wanted to give myself some time off. That's why last week I didn't really produce that many videos. This week I'm going to change all of that. You'll probably see a lot of me this week, more than likely. We will be live for well, not live, but I will be giving you guys a full-on review for Dynamite tomorrow. We will be going over Rampage as usual. No SmackDown. I don't cover SmackDown. I don't want to cover SmackDown. I'd rather have my limbs removed from my body before watching that fucking shitty ass product. The only way I cover it is if it's the SummerSlam pay-per-view, and even that is full of rematches. Now, since I brought that up, let's go over the SummerSlam rematch show. Because, folks, man, when you get a load of this freaking card, you're going to say, this is SummerSlam? Because, folks, this is shit. Really, this is the bottom of the barrel garbage beyond belief. So let me go ahead and go over this with you. It's the 35th annual SummerSlam pay-per-view. I was going to say anniversary, but SummerSlam is better. Adam3817 says, hey, man, it's been fun, but I got to go, dude. My phone is dying, really low on battery. All right, dude. Speak to you later, man. Nice speaking to you. All right, so let's go into the matches. We have Roman Reigns defending the World Championship against Brock Lesnar, a last man standing match. Holy shit, that's a WrestleMania rematch. Wow. Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin. That is pretty much Pat McAfee doing WrestleMania again, only this time with a different opponent. Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. Why? That's a Money in the Bank rematch. Hell, this is Money in the Bank night 2, and we have WrestleMania night 3. All mixed together in one show. What a fucking joke, man. The Usos are defending the tag team titles against the Street Profits. Wow, that's intriguing. That's another rematch for Money in the Bank. Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship. That's a rematch from last month for Money in the Bank. That's not last month. It was 3 weeks ago. Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins in a singles match. That's about the only match that has its own thing, its own build going into this pay-per-view. That's not a rematch from from WrestleMania of this year or Money in the Bank. I mean, they both happen to be in the Money in the Bank match, but they actually didn't have a singles match with one another, so you can't count it as a legit rematch. Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. WrestleMania rematch again. And then we have Logan Paul versus The Miz from WrestleMania, continuing their storyline. So there is some kind of storyline progression in that. Their match taking place at SummerSlam makes sense because of what The Miz did at WrestleMania. So outside of 2 matches, the rest of it is a bunch of rematch from either WrestleMania or Money in the Bank. This is a fucking pathetic show. Really, this is sad. And fucking Liv Morgan and Logan Paul is ridiculous. I have no idea why that even took place at the end of the match that they had at WrestleMania. I just do not get it. But yeah, that is your WrestleMania card. Or excuse me, WrestleMania card, SummerSlam card, but we'll just say in asterisk WrestleMania night 3 with a touch of Money in the Bank night 2. Jesus Christ, man. This company is pathetic. All right, let me get into some really good news about AEW and a returning superstar from injury. That returning superstar is none other than Kenny Omega. Yeah, the man, the king of New Japan Wrestling, strong style, and the guy who actually carried AEW on his back for almost an entire year, along with Jon Moxley when he was champion through 2020 to late 2020. And then Kenny Omega did it throughout 2021. So both of these guys deserve a lot of credit for what they did throughout the pandemic era. And much thanks to both of those two because they did an excellent job. So let's go into it about Kenny Omega. This is off of Wrestling Incorporated. It's been more than 8 months since AEW fans last saw Kenny Omega, who disappeared shortly after he dropped the AEW World Championship to Hangman Page at Full Gear. Taking off to recover from numerous injuries since then, fans have been wondering when Omega would return, and at times it felt like Omega himself was wondering if he'd return at all. Whoa, that's pretty fucking intense right there. But a new report provides some potentially exciting news for Omega and his supporters. Fightful Select is reporting that there are tentative plans in place for Omega to make his return to AEW this September at All Out pay-per-view. As part of a trios program with longtime friends, I should say, the Young Bucks. Fightful did not, however, that the situation wasn't set in stone and that things could change leading up to the event. No firm return date is set for Omega at this time, and neither he nor AEW have confirmed his return. The report comes less than a week after the Young Bucks lost the AEW World Tag Team titles to Swerve in Our Glory, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland on AEW Dynamite, which again I still find absolutely ridiculous. But throwing cold water on a potential rubber match for those titles between the Bucks and FTR, as many had speculated was coming, Dave Meltzer later noted in the Wrestling Observer that the Bucks were expected to be involved in a major angle this fall, and Fightful's report confirms that major angle involves Kenny Omega. So it's unknown who else would be involved in this angle with Omega and the Bucks. Before taking time off, tension had been teased between Omega and fellow Elite members such as Adam Cole, who would go on to add Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish to the group in Omega's absence, turning the Elite into the undisputed Elite in the process. Now Cole himself is recovering from both a concussion and torn labrum, while O'Reilly is out with an undisclosed injury, presumably not swollen testes, as he claimed. There is currently no timetable for their return. Should Omega make his way back to AEW, it is likely to increase speculation on the introduction of an AEW Trios Championship, which has long been anticipated by fans. In the past, AEW owner and CEO Tony Khan has stated that the AEW Trios title belts have been created, but that he had held off on introducing them until Omega returned so that he and the Bucks could to compete for the titles. All right, folks. Well, I guess from that report, we're going to see the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega win the Trios tag team titles. I think that's where this is leading to. I think we're going to have the Undisputed Elite go against the original Elite group. Basically, like the NWO Wolfpack versus the NWO Hollywood group going head to head. And this is going to be a 6-man tag team match for the Trios Championships. They're going to be the final two teams in this tournament to crown the new Trios champions. That's what this looks like and what it sounds like from that report. So pay very close attention to it. I'm kind of excited for it, but at the same time, I kind of feel that the idea of the Young Bucks and FTR is a better story to be told. This idea of doing the Undisputed Elite and the Elite themselves going at it head to head would be fine after All Out. I think that Grand Slam would be great and perfect for that type of match. That could be the co-main event following with a unification match between CM Punk and Jon Moxley as the main event of Grand Slam. That's what I think they should do. I think they should give CM Punk and Kenny Omega some time off, give them that extended few weeks left to have time off. Bring Kenny Omega in for the bring him in to compete at Grand Slam. And we can do a tournament between these two teams and have one of them eliminate the other at Grand Slam. I don't know. Personally, I don't know. Honestly, though, I think that the Young Bucks losing the tag team titles was a poor decision based on the way Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland look. If Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee were looking like they didn't have any friction going on between them, I would be totally fine with the idea of them taking the titles off of the Young Bucks. Granted, they didn't even have to do that. They could have had the Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland take the titles off of the Jurassic Express at the pay-per-view of, I think it was Double or Nothing. Yeah, Double or Nothing. They should have taken the titles off of them at Double or Nothing and had the had them lose that match, the Jurassic Express, and then having Christian Cage turn heel early on than what they planned on doing. Personally, it looks like the tag team titles are being hot potatoed around. I don't particularly like it. I think it gives a bad look to the tag team titles of AEW. They have such a great tag team division. To just hot potato that championship around does not bring any prestige in my book at all. But that's just my feelings on that. And that is pretty much it, guys. Unless you guys have any more comments, concerns, or anything you'd like to leave in the chat or ask me any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. I'll give you guys a few seconds to leave a comment at this point. Go ahead when you're ready. Well, looks like it's kind of dead tonight. I should never go ahead and take a hiatus when it comes to random wrestling talk, because I was getting tons of comments from different people, and today all I got was Adam and Matt talking to me, and I got 2 viewers at this time saying absolutely nothing. I mean, if you guys want to comment in the chat and you want to talk about anything, WWE, AEW, anything, by all means, go ahead and leave a comment. I will definitely answer you right now while we're live. So any takers? Anybody want to talk, say anything? Or are we done here? I'll give you guys 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, folks. That is pretty much it, guys. At this time, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, of course. And as always, leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great night, guys. And thank you again for coming in and having a little fun. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Anyway, I'll speak to you guys again tomorrow for Dynamite. Bye, guys.